Despite our impressive recovery after December, a loss to Celtic and also a loss to Aberdeen proved too much as we missed out on a league title by 7 points. In the Europa League, again, despite our end form being horrible, we managed to get into the knockouts. There we dispatched Dinamo Zagreb 4-2 on aggregate, and in the round of 16, we recovered to win away 3-1 to face Newcastle in the quarterfinals. Sadly, it was this away leg that did us over as we had lost 3-0 on aggregate. It's not all doom and gloom though, as at the end of the season, Queen of the South, Hamilton and co all fell to us in the Scottish Gas Cup as we reached the final, where we rode out 5-2 winners to win our second cup of the rebuild. So there we have it, guys. Season 3 has come to an end of that little second section of highlights. I hope you enjoyed the first part, and I hope you're going to enjoy the second part, how we're rebuilding Rangers, hopefully to be a successful club again in Europe, well, not just Europe, but in Scotland as well. And it's not been too bad this season, all in all. So from the first part, obviously looking at the competitions, we did win the League Cup, and we topped that off with the Scottish Cup as well. Unfortunately, we did miss out on the league to Celtic by 7 points, which is a little bit annoying. But we are making some progress in Europe as well. I'm actually quite excited about the fact that we could end up having Europa League football again next season, potentially. And if we end up in the Europa League again, I think we could get past the knockout rounds or the quarterfinals. I think we could actually make it to the semis or maybe even the final. I think the Europa League or the Conference League stands us our best chance of winning something, but I digress slightly. Let's have a quick look at the squad and see how they did for Season 3. 28 goals from Danilo in 56 games, not bad. Bajrami had a lot better of a season. 21 goals and 9 assists. Cortez 13 and 15, 13 and 15 from Conceição as well. Rabi Matondo obviously dropped down in game time, overtaken by Cortez and Conceição, but still got 11 and 5. 7 and 6 from Cifuentes as well. 7 assists from Omar Richards. Overall, not too bad, but I think there were just a few results there that really cost us. The likes of losing to Aberdeen 2-0. That's not good. And again, around the December time, horrible results. 3-2 to Hearts, 1-0 to Celtic, 1-0 to Kilmarnock. I mean, no disrespect to Kilmarnock, but it's not good enough, really. It's not really good enough. But going into season number 4, we do have some money. We have about 11.5 million. 100,000 in the wage budget, but I did get a couple of free transfers sorted out. Firstly, Josh Sargent was on a free transfer from Norwich. Really good pressing forward. I think he'll be really good for this league, actually. And also Andrew Moran, 24-year-old attacking midfielder from Brighton. I think just gives us another attacking option more than anything else. So I thought 2 free transfers, bring them in. Good bit of business. And on that note, let's go and have a look at Season 4 and see how we get on. Can we win another league title in Season 4, or will it all just come crashing down? Let's go and have a look. So here we are for season number 4, and we've started off really well. We've had 6 games already this season, and as you can see as well, we've got a nice little 1-0 win over Celtic already early in the season, which means we've won 5, drawn 1 on 16 points. So things are looking good. But obviously, on top of the Moran and the Sargent transfers that we brought in, we did get no other players, really. We didn't get any other players besides Murray Johnson. I had to bring in another Scottish player for the registration purposes. Never going to play for us. He's a backup goalkeeper, and that is just what it is. We did sell a couple of players. Chimiti went for 500. I mean, Chimiti got brought into Rangers for 12 million, and I've sold him for 500,000. Rangers definitely haven't learnt anything at all, but we did make another serious amount of money by selling Diamande to Saudi Arabia, Al-Taj for 8.5 million. Miovski has gone to Leganes in Spain for 1.6 million. Butland has left the club because Safanov has taken over as the first team goalkeeper. He's gone for just short of $1 million. Joe Rothwell, just under $250,000, has gone to Saudi Arabia as well to get his nice little payday. What's he getting? Oh, only 25 grand a week. It's a little bit strange. But he's not a world-class player or anything like that, so I wouldn't expect anything. Neverstich has gone back to Croatia, to Osijek. So, all in all, we made about £11 million, which actually puts our finances in a very good shape. And I've got about 21 million to spend. But we're on the 7th of September, so I can't spend it at the moment. 50 million in the bank. But I don't think the squad needed that much adjustment. If you have a look at it, we do have quite a strong squad. I think, looking at the league fixtures at the moment, we're doing all right, and I think we could actually challenge for the title. I've brought a couple of players through the youth system now. Alexander Smith being one, Josh Gentles is another, Bailey Rice is coming into the team as well, and there is another one, I think. Oh, Jordan Trickett-Smith is another player who's come through. He's a regen, but probably won't get any game time. He's just there more for the registration purposes. If we have a look at the schedule, as I say, we started off really well, but more disappointingly, we've ended up in the Europa League again, after again battered by Galatasaray. But like I said, for the end of season 3, I think Europa League actually suits us better. We stand a good chance of actually winning that this year. I think, anyway. But when you actually look at the league table, maybe not. Spurs, Man United, Roma, Leverkusen, Sevilla, Real Sociedad, Sporting, Lyon, Stuttgart, Rennes. Yeah, I'm not too hopeful about that now, to be fair. But I would love to be proved wrong. I really, really would. So there we go, folks. That is your little recap for Season 4. I'm going to go run the highlights, and let's go and find out what actually happens this season. I'll see you guys in a few seconds. Wish me luck. Season 4 has definitely not gone to plan and was ultimately disappointing. In the league, twice this season, we simply kept throwing it away, and again in December, it was horrendous, as we missed out on the league title by 14 points. In both domestic cups, it was a quarter-final exit on penalties to Hearts, and in the Scottish Gas Cup, despite cruising to the final, inevitably Celtic beat us narrowly 1-0. In the Europa League, for us, again, it was pain. We smashed through the league stage. A 1-0 versus Roma, a 6-0 versus Punic helped us finish in the top 8. That meant Rennes next, and we had a comfortable 4-0 aggregate win. Next was a 3-1 aggregate win versus Villarreal, and then we had Man United in the semis. Annoyingly, our trip to Old Trafford is what cost us, as we lost narrowly 4-3 on aggregate to miss out on the final. Well, all I can do is apologise to any Rangers fans that are watching this, because that was an utterly abysmal season from my standards anyway. Absolutely horrendous. Not because of, like, so when you look at the player stats, Danilo 35 goals, Sargent highest average rating, Conceição highest amount of assists. The players look like they've performed, but they just haven't performed enough. When you're in this league, you have to be on top of your game all the way through. And it's the same when you look at the competitions. Let's go and have a look at the Premier League first quickly. League table, we ended up finishing 14 points off Celtic. We just lost too many games. Silly games as well, losing to Hibs a couple of times. Aberdeen, again, Kilmarnock, St Mirren. Losing to teams like that is not good when you're playing in this league, because you know Celtic are just going to be relentless all the way through. Especially when they got Dominic Calvert-Lewin, Mateus Gonçalves. In fact, actually, let's have a quick look at the players that they have got, and I'll show you what I'm up against. Arnie Engels, Josh Doig, Renan Lodi, Fabian, Arman Kayari. Let's have a look down here. Have a look at their attacking players. Gonçalves is another one. Calvert-Lewin, Maeda, Claudio Echeverri. Samu Omarodion on loan. Really? That is ridiculous, and that's what I'm competing against. It's so incredibly tough to compete against Celtic on this game, as it is in real life, because they just have so much money. It's ridiculous. But then on top of that, obviously we had the Scottish Cup final where I lost to Celtic 1-0, more disappointingly. Get knocked out by Hearts in the quarterfinal of the League Cup is nowhere near good enough. But like I said in the highlights, I think the ultimate heartbreak is the Europa League, because we could have got to the final if we just tightened up a little bit in the first game. And going into the final against Atalanta, you know what, I would have fancied our chances. I really would have. But ultimately, we miss out on the chance for a European trophy again. But as I say, when you look at the squad, the top players have still performed. Still good average ratings. 35 goals from Danilo, 29 from Josh Sargent, get my teeth in. 12 and 13 from Cortez, 12 and 20 from Conceição, who now wants to leave because he wants to go to a stronger squad, and a bit understandable. And then Josh Gentles with 10 and 4 in 23 starts and 17 off the bench. Got to show you Josh Gentles, actually, the 21-year-old Welsh striker slash attacking midfielder is actually not a regen. He's a real life player on Rangers books at the moment. And it looks like he could develop into quite a good player. He's a big lad. He's almost 2 meters tall. So he's what, that makes him what, 6'6", 6'7", something like that. As an attacking midfielder slash striker, he could cause a lot of problems. His heading ain't the best, which is quite a surprise. But he has got good finishing, he's got great first touch, and really good jumping reach. So he's a player who I could look to utilise maybe for the 5th and final season. Got the talent for it, without a doubt. But again, once you get out of that sort of top 5, top 6 players, the rest of the players need to pull their socks up a little bit, I think, more than anything else. But going into that 5th and final season, I've got 25 million to spend almost. I am bringing in one player already, but I am not going to show you guys until I go over to the 5th season, because just have a look at the value of this. He's at 1.5 million. Remember that when I come to the 5th and final season and show you him, because he is some player, he is some regen. I can't believe I've actually got him. So let's go and have a look at that 5th and final season to see if I can finally reclaim that title off Celtic that we haven't won for a few years, and maybe even win another domestic cup. Let's go and find out, shall we? So here we are for the start of season number 5, the 5th and final season of the rebuild. And let's go straight into it, get that off the screen. Let's go into the transfers first and foremost, because if we have a look at the finances, 40.5 million in the bank. That is not bad at all. I have got transfer budget left, but again, I didn't really spend a penny. The transfers I did bring in, though, were some absolute ballers. And as you can see, there are some great names on this list for the 5th and I've gone big. I saw a lot of free transfers there, and I just thought, you know what, go for it. So, firstly, Wilson Odegaard, free transfer from Spurs. Really good, fast winger. I think he could do a lot of damage in the Scottish League. Next one, Martin Vitic. Tried and tested centre-back, very quick, very strong. Czechia international. I've bought this player so many times. He does exactly what he says on the tin, and is excellent quality for this league. Omar Marmoush. How the mighty have fallen, going from Frankfurt to Man City and then a free transfer to Rangers. But a very, very good player on this game still, and will do really well for us. He's only made 1 start, 2 goals and 8 off the bench, but still, I'll take that. I will take that. Next one, Brian Zaragoza, 28-year-old, again, Spanish winger from Bayern Munich, brought in, very pacey, good dribbling, good flair. Bit of creativity for the side. Then another centre-back, another one who I have bought before, Bitshiabu from Leipzig. 24-year-old Frenchman, really strong on the ball, good pace, good determination. Overall, only 24 as well, so I've got him for a good while on this, if I wanted to carry on the save. And then finally, another left-back brought in, but I still think a really, really good left-back in Lewis Hall, who could play all the way through the midfield and up that left wing. Very, very happy with that bit of business. And as I say, not even a penny spent when I actually brought in another 10 million after selling the likes of Bajrami, Matondo and Danilo all on loan. Cifuentes has gone, Moran has gone, Ant-Man has gone, Ben Davies has gone as well. So I brought in a good amount of money there as well. And if we had a look at the squad is well and truly stacked out. But I did say I was going to show you one player that I did bring in, and it was this regen. For 1.5 million, Diego Hernandez. Look at this guy. Brought him in from Colombia, Independiente Medellin. 16 finishing, 16 technique, 16 flair, 16 bravery. Great agility and pace at 16s. 15 on the acceleration. Left-footed striker. Hit the ground running already. 12 games, 11 goals, 3 assists. I thank you. I thank you very much. What a signing that is. I can't believe I got this guy for 1.5 million, or 1 million, going up to 1.5 million. My scouts played an absolute blinder finding this guy. He really was amazing. Or really is amazing, should I say. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. And as you can see, let's have a quick look at the schedule. We've started off really well this season. In fact, we are back in the Champions League after knocking out Olympiacos and Besiktas and Midtjylland. And as you can see, Hernandez is picking up a lot of goals in these games, as well as beating the likes of Dundee United, Livingston, Falkirk, St Mirren, Hearts. We have started rapidly this season. Absolutely rapid. Odegaard with 6 assists. Conceição with the highest average rating at the moment. There we have it. So there we go, folks. Let's go and roll the final Season 5 highlights to see how we get on this season. Can we finally claim our first league title since Season 1 and topple Celtic once and for all? Let's go and find out, shall we? Our final season at redemption, and it had mixed results. In the Premier Sports Cup, it was an extra time defeat in the semi-finals to Aberdeen, and with being back in the Champions League, our fixture list certainly didn't help. We did get revenge against Man United, however, but that wasn't enough as we failed to qualify out the league stage. But in the Scottish Gas Cup, an extra time win 3-2 versus Celtic meant a final versus Motherwell, and Marmoush and co romped home to a 5-1 win for our third cup of the rebuild. And in a fitting end to this rebuild, the league went to the wire. A 6-1 versus Falkirk, 5-0 versus Hibs, and a 5-1 versus Celtic had us at the top. But a 5-0 loss to Celtic almost cost us, but thankfully Celtic dropped vital points, and a final day 5-0 win versus St Mirren meant we lifted the league title by 2 points. Hallelujah, we finally did it. Yes, we did. We won the title again. And like I said in the highlights, it has been a bit of a mixed bag kind of a season. But ultimately, this is all that matters. Topping Celtic and winning the league. And it was tough towards the end. But both teams had patchy results towards the end of the season, and they could have gone either way. But I think ultimately we deserved it. We scored more goals. And we had the better goal difference by 5. So it just shows the difference. I mean, look at it. We're finishing nearly 30 points ahead of Aberdeen. And this is where like sort of disparity comes from in the Scottish football, is the fact that Rangers and Celtic, for the vast majority of the time, will just dominate other teams. It's just ridiculous. But at the same time, I cannot fault it. We actually do have now a couple of league titles. Thankfully, we won it in our first season and we've won it in our last season, which I think tops off quite nicely after being runners-up for 3 seasons behind Celtic. But also on top of that, having a Scottish Cup as well, meaning a domestic double. I'm not even going to talk about the Champions League because it's just embarrassing to say the least. But then we had the Scottish League Cup as well, getting knocked out by Aberdeen, which is a little bit disappointing. I would have fancied us. Let's have a quick look at the final. It would have been Hibs. I would have fancied us to win that. I think we should have had a domestic treble. Personally, I really do think we should have domestic travel. So before we go and have a look at the squad, have I left Rangers in a more financially viable situation at the end of this? Well, the answer is no. I mean, we were at 50 million in the bank at one point, so where the hell has all that money gone? I don't get it. I really don't get it. Because it's not like I spent a load of money on transfers. Not a massive amount at all over the last 5 seasons. So where is all that money frittering away to? I don't get it at all. But let's have a look at the squad for one final time. And there is our star man right at the top. What a find this guy is. Diego Hernandez, 40 games this season, 32 goals and 10 assists. Woo! Still amazing at the age of 19. I do have a feeling if I carried this on for a couple of seasons, he wouldn't be at the club very long. To be honest, he's valued up to 19 million now, which is a great price, seeing as I spent only 1.5. Josh Sargent got 27 and 8, 16 and 7 for Marmoush, 13 and 17 for Conceição. Thankfully, I'm glad he stayed. Cortez, 11 and 13. Let's have a quick look at Cortez, see how he's developed. Not really got past what he had already, so he basically just stayed at like sort of a consistent level all the way through. Nothing majorly special about him, but he performs well in the game engine and obviously in the Scottish League as well. Wilson Odobert, 6 and 11, 5 and 6 in 7 starts for Josh Gentles, which is a little bit disappointing. Max Johnston got 5 assists, so overall some really, really good performances. Average ratings are really good. Goals, brilliant. Can't complain of that at all. Financially wise, we're all still very, very good. And yeah, it's great. And thank you very much for watching. All I can say is thank you to you guys for continuing to watching the videos and supporting the channel. It is really, really appreciated. And keep an eye out for the next one, because the next one, looking at my calendar right now, is going to be Lyon. It's going to be the next rebuild coming out after that, so keep an eye out for that. So you have to be subscribed and like the video to keep up to date with that content. And I'll see you guys in the next video. See you later. Ta-ra.